Hi, it's me. I'm back with another video. So this is going to be a sit-down video. We haven't done one of these in a minute. I've done lots of reading vlogs. So as you saw, I finished the Good Girls Guide to Murder series, which I loved, and then I finished the first season of the show, which also was really good, but very different. For this week's video, I'm going to be doing my fall TBR, so these are all the books I want to read in fall, obviously. It is currently around mid-August, so fall is coming up quick. Still holding on to summer, though. I love summer, but I'm also really excited for fall, so I don't really know where I am right now. But I'm accepting fall is around the corner, so I thought I'd talk about all the books I want to read this fall. Let's get started. First is Taming 7 by Chloe Walsh. No, I still have not read this yet. I've been waiting for it to come on Kindle Unlimited because the font is so tiny in the US versions of these books, and it just hasn't yet, but if it doesn't soon, I'm probably just going to read it. But I've heard very mixed reviews on this book, and I'm kind of excited to see how I feel about it. But I love Gibbsy and Claire, so I really want to see their story and how this one all comes together. Obviously, it's going to be just as heartbreaking as the others, so that's not necessarily as exciting, but I'm very excited to finally read about Gibbsy and his story. Next is Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross. I've been wanting to get to this book for a while. I just haven't yet. I've been reading other books in series, but this one feels very fall to me. I don't know. It's a magic typewriter, and it's like during a war, so they're academic rivals, and I think they both work at different like papers. I could be so wrong. I don't actually know. But I've heard nothing but great things about this one. The second one I've heard mixed reviews, but the first one I've heard literally nothing but amazing reviews on it. And I'm very excited to get to it, but it feels so fall, so I'm so excited to read this in the fall atmosphere. It just feels like a little dark academia fall vibes. Now is The Alice Paradox by Olivia Blake. I'm sure if you watched any TBR video on mine, this book has been probably in most of them, because I've meant to read this book when it came out 2 years ago, and I still haven't read it. Still have not opened the book. It's the second book in the series. Loved the first book. It's on a cliffhanger. I think about the cliffhanger regularly. I remember everything that happened in the first book, and I want to know what happens in this book, but for some reason, I just haven't picked it up. I really don't know why, because I do really want to know, but apparently not bad enough because I still won't pick it up to read it. This is also very dark academia. They're set at like a boarding school. They have magic, like very fall vibes. It's in New York City, so hopefully the fall energy will make me finally pick this up this year. Next is What Happens After Midnight by K.L. Walther. This has probably been in a couple TBR videos too, but this one I think I've always been planning to read in the fall. I really love The Summer of Broken Rules by K.L. Walther, and I've been wanting to get in this. Again, I've heard mixed reviews on this one too, but I love anything set at like a boarding school, like rich people, boarding schools, London, New York City. I don't think this is set in London or New York City, but it's a boarding school, and that's good enough for me. That's all I need. And that feels fall because school feels fall. So I'm really excited to get to this. I think I'm going to really enjoy it. I'll let you guys know how I feel about it. Next is One of Us is Lying by Karen McManus. I've only recently decided I wanted to read this book and bought it. I saw that there's a show for it, and we've obviously been having like summer ween vibes a little bit. I don't know how I even got wrapped up into that because I was in very full summer mode, and somehow I ended up in summer ween. I was watching Criminal Minds, I was watching The New Pretty Little Liars, I started reading A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, and so naturally I just got in the little horror mystery aspect, and now I'm here wanting to read One of Us is Lying because I saw that there's a show, and I really want to watch the show, but I don't want to watch the show before I read the book. Again, this book has very mixed reviews. I've heard the show people actually really like, maybe even better than the book. So I'm excited to see that because I do really want to get into this. I think it'd be fun. And I'm kind of been really loving the mystery reads lately. I want to read Tell Me Lies by Corolla Lovering. This is another one that's been a TV adaptation that I've wanted to watch. So again, I wanted to read the book before I watch the show. And I think it's about a very toxic relationship. And for some reason, that feels a little fall to me. I don't really know why. Maybe because the toxic relationships I can think of are always like super rich people, and for some reason rich people gives me fall vibes. I don't understand. Like Magnolia Park screams fall to me, Gossip Girls fall to me. Just like all those books and shows just are like so fall to me. So for some reason this one is giving me fall vibes. I've been wanting to read and watch the show for a while though. I've heard that the show I think is very similar to this book. I've heard it's like pretty spot on, so I'm really excited to see that. Next, I have The Royal We by Heather Cox and Jessica Morgan. I recently picked this up. I have like a resale bookstore near me, and this cover was very enticing because, as I've said a million times, I love London and rich people, so the royal we always sound rich, and then there's London. So I immediately grabbed this and read the back, and I was like, I need to read this right now because, as all of us have, we've had the Maxton Hall phase in our lives. And that set, well, not set, but they go to like a tour on Oxford, and they all want to go to Oxford, and they're at a boarding school. And so this is about a girl who goes to Oxford, and she is across the hall from a prince who's going to be the future king of England. And I guess it's just their love story, and like if she's willing to give up her life and her like freedoms to stay in his crazy royal famous world that she's never wanted. So it sounds incredibly interesting, and I'm very excited to read this. And I've heard zero people talk about this, so I will let you guys know how I feel about it. But this is literally everything I could ever want in a book. Then we have Josh and Hazel's Guide to Not Dating by Christina Lauren. And I haven't read a Christina Lauren book yet. Been meaning to read all the ones I own, but I still have yet to get to them. This one I think is the one I want to get to the most because it's set in New York City, and I again love anything set in like New York City. So I'm really excited to get to this, and I think it's almost like fake dating. I could think they're best friends and they keep setting each other up on dates. They're setting each other up on dates, but they're like bad blind dates, so they can just kind of hang out. So it's pretty much them going on dates without admitting they're going on dates. And this reminds me, I think it's just the title of it. Oh, I can't remember the name of the movie, but it has Victoria Justice and Matthew Daddario in it. I'll put the name here if I find it. But I was obsessed with that movie like a couple years ago, and it's her and her gay best friend, and they have like this little list of people that they both really like, so they'll be like, no, we can't date them because it would screw up our friendship. And the one guy Matthew Daddario plays is like one of the guys on the list, and Victoria Justice's character just like falls for him. And I don't think these books are similar in any way. Like, I don't think the book or the movie are similar, but the titles remind me a lot of each other, and they're both set in New York City. So, I don't know, I'm just kind of, it's giving me that vibe for some reason. It's definitely nothing like that, I can tell from the back. But I'm still really excited to read this, and I think I'm gonna love it because I love anything set in New York City. Last but certainly not least, we have Girl Abroad by Elle Kennedy. Again, I've recently heard very mixed reviews on this. Some people really enjoy Elle Kennedy's books. I've loved the books I've read from her 2 hockey series. I really enjoyed them. Or 3 hockey series now, I guess, whatever. This is obviously a whole new like world she's created, and she has other stories, but I haven't read those yet either. But I've heard this one has some mixed reviews. People are not, they say the writing's not the same. I don't know. I feel like I just like couldn't hate it because everything about it sounds like perfect. Like a girl studying abroad in London, like that's again, anything set in London, I will read. And she's studying abroad, so school gives fall, and I don't know, I'm it's like a romance. I don't know. I'm so excited to read this because I would kill to study abroad in London. And so I just feel like this can give me that like same energy, that same vibe. Obviously, again, I'll let you know how it goes. Thank you guys so much for watching this week's video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. As always, go watch my other videos. Like I said, I have 3 reading vlogs up on the Good Girl Guide to Murder series. You can see my live reactions. It's full spoilers. If you haven't read them yet, do not watch them. Again, I'm sorry for the long breaks in between videos. I've been so busy this summer. I'm done traveling now, and while my work schedule will up, my traveling schedule is not happening, so hopefully I'll have more time to film more weekly videos. And again, please let me know any books you want me to read, any videos you want me to film. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye!